Hey folks, it's a great day with some very uplifting educational results. It really shows what happens when teachers are unleashed to just teach the knowledge that the next generation needs in an efficient way, and I think that uplifts the whole country.
A lot of that would go to credit towards Erica Stanford, right, as Education Minister. Do you think she'd make an effective Prime Minister?
Well, look, first you'd have to be the leader of a political party. Right now, everyone in our government is trying to get the best policy and largely succeeding at that. So, people can argue about politics if they want. I'm here to talk about policies that fix the problems that matter to New Zealanders.
Do you think Christopher Luxon is an effective Prime Minister?
Well, I look at what this government's achieving right across the board: earthquakes, methane, Holidays Act, red tape reduction, right across the board. This government is being highly effective, and if he's the guy leading that government, then I'd say he's effective.
And New Zealand First seems to be doing quite well in the polls. What do you think they're doing right?
Well, I think that they're talking about a lot of issues that people care about. I think what people will judge in the long term is delivery on those issues, and on that I think the ACT Party is also doing a very good job.
ACT has slipped in some polls, so what do you think you're doing wrong?
Well, I actually don't think we're doing anything wrong. I think at the moment we have a very challenging environment economically. People are voting on the economy, but people are also watching who's making the difference, who's driving the change around methane laws, Holidays Act, earthquake laws, red tape reduction, saving money. All of those things add up to an economic recovery, and I think that's what people want.
Do you think our fines and penalties for driving offences need to be increased?
I haven't seen a good case for that. If somebody wants to show the evidence that people are driving badly because the fines are too low, we'll look at it, but I haven't seen that case. I know the very, very occasional times I get a fine feels like enough of a penalty to me.
What do you think of body cameras on police officers?
Look, I think unfortunately it may be something that's necessary given the amount of abuse and difficult situations police officers face. I always just defer to the police minister on that because he is a former police officer. But one thing everyone in our government agrees on is that no one wants to be put in the situation that police are put in. We should all be trying to support them, even though I have to say not everyone in Parliament can really stand up for that.
Even if it cost about $300 million to roll out, do you think it's...
Well, obviously any policy you've got to weigh up. Is this the best use of a taxpayer dollar right now? So of course we'd do that sort of analysis, but no proposition like that's been put before us yet.
The Speaker's promised to, crack down on the dress code. What do you think about that?
Well, look, if you asked me 10 years ago, I would have said what a fuddy-duddy idea. But I look at the way that behaviour has slipped just as the dress code slipped. I look at the fact you have to wear a suit in court. I look at the way that a lot of schools insist on uniforms to keep their standards up. And maybe it's time for Parliament to pull its socks up too.
Do you think a stricter dress code would actually improve behaviour here?
Look, I think it's easy to put too much emphasis on the dress code aspect. It's one of many things that I believe need to change, and I fully support our Speaker in bringing that change as he promised yesterday.
But will it actually make a difference?
Well, let's put it this way. If you never do anything unless you're absolutely certain, you'll never do anything.
Hey, I'm a little bit late to the RSB party, but join follows today.
Oh, well, welcome.
Hey, it's a long party. Hey, so there's been, a lot of criticism online that there was such a massive amount of people who opposed the bill, but yet it's still going through. Your reaction to that?
Well, a lot of those people who opposed the bill went on a website like Greenpeace, clicked on a couple of statements which were completely factually untrue, and then got a printout that was their submission. They sent it in and that counts. When I look at people who are seriously engaged in regulatory economics, I look at people who actually have to follow these rules, especially in the business community. They're saying, look, New Zealanders spend too much time following rules or being stopped completely by red tape. Anything we can do to free up people to provide for themselves and those they care about has got to be a good thing. Anything we can do to protect property rights so people actually have to trade and exchange rather than take from each other, that's got to make us a wealthier society. It's actually something in Te Ao Māori. If you're worried about property rights, this bill's for you.
Have you spoken to New Zealand First? Are they happy with its current or any amendments that needed to be made for it to go through its second reading?
Yeah, everything that we're doing has been agreed by Cabinet, so that's our position as a government, and we're looking forward to carrying out our quarter 4 plan, which says we are going to pass the bill this quarter.
And I guess just a message to people who did put in a submission, who may not feel listened to, your message to people partaking in the Select Committee processes.
Well, it depends what the submission was, but if you were set up by somebody who was really just trying to collect your email address, who gave you false statements to send in, then I feel sorry for you.
Hey, long shot, but D'Angelo passed away today. Do you have a D'Angelo favourite track?
Look, I tell you what, you've got me, I can't believe you managed to do this, but you've managed to get me out of my musical knowledge sphere.
Oh,
So, yeah, I know. I could see.
Hey,
I tell you what, maybe the real answer is we're losing the D'Angelo vote. We'll see you guys later.